Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday morning, January 24th. So, a few things I want to talk about. Let's talk about the first one, the most recent one. So, I was watching a show called Paranoid on Netflix, and one of the main characters was a Quaker. And they referred to her as a Quaker very frequently, and kind of as an oddball, a little bit, although she looked very normal. And someone asked her what her beliefs were or something, and so she kind of gave a description of what she believed as a Quaker. And I was kind of like, that's kind of what I believe. I have gone through my mind many times as I have deprogrammed from the religious aspect of God, Creator, Source, and tried to kind of figure out what my beliefs are, what I do believe, what I don't believe. And what she said really kind of struck me. So I guess it would have been Monday night. I was doing some research about what Quakers believe. And I'm not going to say I am 100% full-fledged into it. My clothes are too bright. And you all know that I cuss like a sailor. That's probably not going to be appropriate. But the actual core beliefs of a lot of stuff that they believe and how they access God. And I even watched one video where she used the word God, Source, Creator, or different words for that energy that brought us all into the world down here. So I haven't done a, fully deep dive, but I have started that. And so my curiosity is piqued a lot. One of the things that kind of came up was it was talking about the timing of when they came to the United States and some of the different things that they did. I knew zero about Quakers other than they might be a little bit like Amish. They might be a little bit like Mennonite, but I didn't even really know that for sure. And I'm not even sure that is true. One of the things that they were talking about was, someone told me this, that they helped abolish slavery and they helped with setting up settlement houses and some of the Underground Railroad, which I was like, that's really cool. I learned that they helped out with the Great Famine in Ireland. Don't ask me the year. I just found that out yesterday. There were a lot of Quakers that helped feed people when the potato blight took over and killed a lot of people. They also, I believe, kind of butted heads with the Puritans that came into Massachusetts, New Hampshire, all of that when the United States was just starting to be developed. And so I actually looked up if Quakers were involved in the Salem witch trials. And it looks like a lot of Quakers were some of the ones that were burned at the stake because of their beliefs and their abilities. And I think a lot of us that follow me, a lot of you that follow me, I have never done a past life regression where I've actually been a witch. But some of the fears and weird things that have happened over my life makes me think that I probably was one of those, which could have meant that I was a Quaker in a previous life. That's where I'm trying to get to. I think that a bunch of us may have been reincarnated Quakers from previous lives based on our beliefs, based on what our intentions are, based on wanting better things for humanity. So, check into that. I did a post on Facebook a couple of days ago asking what people believed or what they knew about them. Not much. One guy said they don't believe in baptism, and I was like, I'm not even sure I believe in baptism. I don't think that you can baptize a baby and save them from all the crap that they're probably going to do in their life. And they could be the worst of the worst. And you're going to tell me they're going to go to heaven because they were baptized when they were 6 months old and didn't have a choice. Not buying that. So anyway, feel free. I will find one of the good ones and I will post it in the links. That was like 9 things that they believe. there's a lot of different stuff, and it was very interesting. And the more I got to know like their thinking and stuff, I was like, that certainly resonates with how I associate God, source, spirit, how I communicate what my beliefs and everything for humanity is. So anyway, I wanted to throw that out to you. I took Monday off because I could tell last week that I was about at my last, I was getting super stressed. Part of it was because of the weather that we had a week and a half ago. And I just was like, I worry about, oh my God, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? It was the week that the pipe froze. And I went in late on Wednesday morning because I just was having a hard time getting up and doing my day. And so I called a manager and I was like, I need to take a vacation day as soon as possible. So I took it on Monday. And then on Thursday, I got forced, I guess. I didn't want to do it, and I tried to get out of doing it. They had me training with one of the receptionists down at Greenwood because the normal person that should be training was off from surgery, and they wanted me to, they wanted her to see what I do at my desk, because I am a lot busier in my office than she is in hers, and do some phone training. Well, long story short, already being somewhat stressed, I ended up snapping at an agent because I was on the phone. I was having a hard time getting rid of the call to one of my processors or a manager that knew something about a call that had come in. Somebody was looking for $100 check, and nobody would take the damn call. And here comes this agent saying that she had a closing in my office at noon, and we didn't have a closing at noon that day in my office. So I'm on the phone, half listening, waiting for them to make up their mind. Are they going to take the call while they're trying to dig through the file and figure out what's going on? And then I've got her basically demanding, oh yes, you are going to have this closing in my office because I've told all my people to come here. And so I was like caught in between these two conversations, and I kept going, hang on a second. The gal that was on the phone ended up hanging up on me and us because we took too long taking her call. And I kind of slammed down the phone, and I'm like, ugh, I was just super frustrated. And then that agent, I'm like, hang on a second. I kept saying, hang on a second. And she just kept running her mouth. And I finally was like, stop talking. I can't think straight. And I was like, it was like I had Tourette's or something when I did that. And I'm like, I'm sorry. But she had caught me at this level of frustration, and then she just added on top of it. And again, I already knew I had a short fuse because I had already asked off for a vacation day the day before. So I knew it was coming. It was coming. And so I did apologize. I'm not sure how heartfelt it was, to be honest, because she was kind of rude. She was very rude. And she starts to walk into the closing room, and she turns back and looks at me, and she goes, it might take a while for me to forgive you for your tone. Because it was a bunch of freaking church people that were coming in there. That's why that forgive word came out there, was she was shoving that in my face. And so anyway, that was my Thursday. And so I was talking to a friend over the weekend, and she's like, how's your weekend going? And so I kind of told her, and I told her about my little meltdown at work on Thursday with the agent and everything. And apparently, well, I already knew this. I've talked about this. Pluto was maybe now is in Aquarius. And she said last Thursday was slated to be a blow up day or something like that. And I was like, are you kidding me? Because it happened. I mean, I am not normally, I don't think I have never snapped at an agent that's come into my office like that. Never. I may have thought it in my head, but this one just squirted out my mouth. And so then I come to find out that astrology said that was slated for that day. I was like, oh my God, that is crazy. So, okay, so that happened. We've had a lot of solar flares that were coming in. God, I mean, Monday night, I laid in bed wide awake. Of course, that was the night after I had just learned about all the Quaker stuff. And it was like my soul was like excited because I was like, oh my God, that fits with a lot of stuff in my background, with the reincarnation stuff that I have done, with just interests and stuff. And so I think maybe my soul was kind of excited about that. Whatever the case was, I didn't sleep very well Monday night. I was up and down and tossed and turned and wide awake most of the night. Yesterday was a rough day at work. We had a lot of solar flares coming in. I have a weather app on my phone, so I don't necessarily, like, if I sleep good, I may see, oh, we had a couple that came through the night. They didn't affect me, but they have been coming in hot and heavy the last, God, 48 hours. So if you are having some struggles sleeping, that is probably what is doing it. I feel pretty good today. I did sleep good last night, thank God. I don't think I could have done 2 more of those nights without losing it. So, so just kind of hang in there. Those solar flares don't last forever, thank God. And one last thing, this is regarding the TranzactCard. So if you're not in that on my team, then you don't need to listen to this part. There's a card, well, I guess it's more of a system. It's called Ever.More. That is going to be part of TranzactCard, and that is going to give you the ability to hook up your regular everyday cards that you already use. Like maybe you've got a particular card that you have airline miles that you like to use, or maybe you get specific bonus points for something and you just don't want to give that up and you want to use that card because of those. You will have the ability to do the Evermore card and attach any everyday cards that you already use to that and still get bonus Z-Bucks and be able to use them in the Z Club. So that is coming, and I think that may be coming before the cards actually come out because they wanted to give a bridge. I mean, right now, everybody's still getting 500 Z-Bucks a week. I talked to someone last night. She's got like 6,000. I have like 11,500. So anybody that's on my team has several thousand Z-Bucks for just hanging around being patient. What I have heard is once that Evermore card comes out, we won't be getting free Z-Bucks anymore because we will have the ability to swipe and get our own Z-Bucks. So just keep that in mind. One of the other announcements there's several announcements that have come out. They hired 2 women to head up like the ECommerce Z Club site and some other stuff. I can't remember which one is which, but they both have a lot of experience in online sales, online purchases. One of them, God, she has connections in like a bazillion different retail places. So I imagine she's going to be bringing a lot of those on board on the Z Club eventually. And apparently if you ever thought about being a business owner, like a digital business owner, and you were scared off by potentially having $50 a month paying for like tech fees and stuff, apparently they've just erased that. And nobody's going to have to pay that ever. I don't have to pay that because I hit manager by a certain date. But I think maybe there were some people that were like going, I can't risk having to pay $50 a month until I get this business built. Or like some fees, like commission fees or whatever. So apparently they have just nixed all of that. So that is excellent news for anybody who has thought about doing this as a business. You'll still have to pay $4.95 one-time fee to get in, but otherwise you won't have any monthly fees or anything down the road. And I think that's it for now. that's kind of a wrap up of what's been going on for the last week, other than, oh, I met my neighbor to the south. He's the one that had frozen pipes with me. We bonded over frozen pipes in the parking lot one day when it was 15 degrees outside while we were both trying to get in our trucks to get into work. So anyway, I think that's it. I will talk to you later. I hope you are not being super affected by these solar flares. I hope that you are not at your wit's end and snapping at people. I'm having a hard time keeping my mouth shut, because if it's just like, if anybody comes at me with some sort of negative comment or acting like an asshole, I'm having a hard time pretending like it didn't happen. And it's, again, like I feel like I have Tourette's, and it's just like things are popping out of my mouth that I don't necessarily want happening. So I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that. If you are, let me know. I will talk to you later. Bye.